I work at Charnwood Borough Council on the communities and wellbeing team, and my role within that team is kind of voluntary and community sector support. Very much along the lines of what Emma does at Val, but it kind of varies a bit across that. But I'm also involved in running the community grants programme. So for quite a long while, many years, if you can't tell from the grey hair, I've been doing it a long time. Obviously, really aware of the challenges that organisations have in terms of recruiting and retaining volunteers, and often struggle to kind of help groups with that. And then when Emma came on board at Val, and she knocked on my door and said, "Hello, I'm now with Val. Can we get together and have a chat?" Which was so refreshing, Emma. I hope you don't mind me saying that. And realised actually across our two remits, we've got very similar remits in a lot of respect, and then conscious about duplicating work. And at the same time, it kind of started as thinking about John Storer Charnwood in Loughborough. If you're not aware of them, it's a really big community centre and volunteering kind of support organisation. They've got a voluntary sector and volunteer manager there. And again, with very similar remits. So we said, well, what can we do to work together? Why don't we just work together and not duplicate if we can help it? And what shall we do? And so we said, right, volunteering. This is a major issue. We've all got part of our remits that's about looking at supporting groups with volunteering. What can we do about that? And therein was created Charnwood Volunteers. So it's our strapline, as you can see, it's about connecting volunteers to opportunities in their community. And that's where the partnership started. So as I've just said, Emma, Louise and myself decided I think this partnership is unusual. I'm not going to say it's unique, but I think it is unusual, and it's really struck a chord, I think, with the power of working in partnership in this way, because I don't think any one of us, except for Emma, could have done this on their own. I've got to say that because she's in the room. It really is as a result of this kind of collaboration. And so, like I said, it came about from a growing need for volunteers and the challenges about recruitment and about those shared goals of support organisation development officers. So what is Charnwood Volunteers? So it's a way to connect volunteers to opportunities in their community. And to do this, it became clear there's two very different but inextricably linked things that are needed. One is to promote vacancies to the actual volunteers, and who are they? Where are they? How are they motivated? And so we felt that a missing piece of the jigsaw was that although there's this great Val database, and there was John Storer Charnwood, where volunteers, it's just generally known locally that people could go through the door, there was no kind of proactive activity to promote directly to the potential volunteers, the general public, the companies. And so that's kind of a key thing we really wanted to address. And then the second part of this is, sorry, come here. Sorry, sorry about my dog. I'll try and talk over him. The second part is to understand the volunteering needs of voluntary and community sector organisations, and we're doing that via the creation of a regular networking event, which I'll tell you a little bit more about in the moment. So we've got the Charnwood Volunteers is the public-facing promotion of volunteering, and then we've got the VCS organisation-facing part of it in terms of understanding what they need and how we can support them in the future. So, Charnwood Volunteers, it's disarmingly simple, but I think I overcomplicate it when I try and explain it. But so, Charnwood Volunteers, it's the way we're doing this is that we ask those organisations that want to take part to send us an A4 copy of poster about their organisation. You can see in the photograph there, this was at Loughborough Market during Volunteers Week in June. That was our first appearance. And so we had on display there on a notice board posters from all the organisations that wanted to take part. The second part of it is that they had to then register their vacancies on the VAL volunteering platform. So to take part, they're the two things that they have to do. And then on the display board, and we've got posters and postcards, there's a QR code that they can use to go directly into the VAL database. So they might see an organisation on the notice board that think, oh, I like the sound of that. But in that moment, we can get them straight into the VAL database. So we're taking advantage of that interest in the moment. I have to say that this launch was a bit of a washout because it was the only day that rained in June. It was the only day of the whole of the summer where it rained. So we were not very busy, but it has just generated such a lot of interest, in from other organisations. And the intention is that we will, we will be taking this out to public venues, community centres, libraries. We've got quite a long list of where potentially we could take it, leave it with posters and postcards for people to, to have a look at where they actually are. The process. So I think I've just explained. We've got organisations will register their vacancies, provide us with a poster. The notice boards will be rotated at public venues and companies. We're doing, we're going to the University Freshers Week. They've asked us to go and promote volunteering to the new joiners at the university, which is really exciting. The university wants to really encourage students to go out into the community and volunteer. As I said, the vacancies can be accessed via the QR code on the VALS platform, and it really is so easy to search the vacancies. It's amazing. And then that really is where what we're doing ends, because we would then leave the organisation and the volunteer to progress that interest in whatever way they want to. So we're trying to be the connection, not the kind of the brokering and the managing of that ongoing relationship. And then the second part, as I said, it's about talking to the VCS, and we know for a long time there's been interest in having a regular networking event. And so again, as part of this three-way partnership, we've got the capacity to do this. And we're launching this on the 14th of October at Mount Sorrel Memorial Centre. Sadly, it is closed now. We're completely booked up, aren't we, Emma, for that? Are we still taking bookings on the Val?
It is still open. We have got over 60 people booked on that event,
Yeah.
which was
So,
quite
so there's
amazing.
probably thank you for that update. I know we're meeting in next to progress that event, but so I guess what we can hold out to you is that um, sadly you wouldn't be able to attend this event, but if you want to book on or just email us, my email address will be further down, just to register your interest in any future events. It'd be really useful for us to know, even if you can't come to this event, that there is interest for future events, and then we can put you on a mailing list and let you know when the next one is and what the topic is. So for this first one, the theme is Charnwood Volunteers, as I've just explained to you, and the future of volunteering. We've got a keynote speaker talking about the future of volunteering. Is from the NCVO. We thought this was a really important topic to start the networking event with, because the nature of volunteering is changing, and what motivates them and how you engage with them is probably very different to what it has been in recent years. And at that event, we'll be asking the delegates, the VCS organisations, what they want from future networking events. This is very much about finding out what the issues are, what the challenges are, what they'd like to be covered at future events. How to get involved. So I think I've explained about the poster and registering the vacancies. I think I'm repeating myself now. If you do book on, you'll automatically be added to a mailing list. If you send a poster, you'll automatically be added to a mailing list as well. And then at some point we will want to be doing some surveys about future needs of the sector. Thank you. That's it. And I've got a poem. Karen, what have you done to me? Okay, so yeah, that's it. Thank you. I look forward to speaking to you in the breakout.